Hi everyone, my name is Heather and I'm the person behind Happy Puppy Truffles. Today I wanted to share with you guys another traditional origami. Today we're going to make a traditional origami spider. For this origami you need 2 pieces of origami paper, and I'm using a paper that's 15 by 15 centimeters. Now we're going to fold both pieces exactly the same, so I'm going to show you guys first how to fold the beginning stage, and then we'll know how to add in the, to make 2 of those, and then go from there to make the one half, which is the body, and the other half, which is the head. So first what we're going to do is start with a square base. So with my color side facing down, I'm just going to go ahead, fold my paper in half, open it up, and fold it in half again. Then with the color side facing up, I'm just going to fold everything in half diagonally into a big triangle. And I'll do that for both sides. Then you want to take everything and open it up, look at it from the color side, fold it in half, and pinch here and push in and shimmy around until you can get it to all lay down nice and flat into what is called the square base. Now what I want to do is make sure that the open flaps are pointing up, and we want to take these little flaps and smush them down actually and open them up. There's a couple of different ways that you can do this. You can first take and create a crease here by folding your edge to the center, open it up, make sure this part goes both ways here so that it can kind of stand up, and then we're just going to open up here and then put a little pressure on that edge until it can smush down and lay flat. Now this side's already creased correctly, the other side just gets reversed until we can get a nice little shape like this, and then you just return the flat to the other side. Now the other way that you can do this if you want to is you can just take everything here, fold it open, push down. Got to hold on to both of these little parts here to keep them steady in the middle, and then push down, straight down, so that you get this part lined up with the center. Fold straight to the point and then out to both sides. Either way works. It's just up to you as a point of preference of which way you prefer to do the steps. So again, you can turn it over here and then do the ones on the back too. Fold one side and then just open it up, put the pressure down, and you don't have to hold here because this crease is already set, so you have it all laid out easier. Or you can just take the next side here and open it up and fold it straight down. And it's just really a point of preference of which way that you like to do these steps. They give you the same kind of creases when you're done. So I've made all of these folded over, and what you've got when you're finished then is you should have 4 flaps on each side. And what we want to do is, this is the solid side, and I'd like to actually look at the white side. So I'm just going to take one of these flaps and fold it over, turn everything over, fold it again to the left. What we should have now are little like ears at the top here that we're going to work with. Make sure you've got 4 pieces on each side so it's nice and even. And then we're just going to do some petal folds at the top. I'm going to take this outer edge and fold it down into the center. And I'll do the same thing with the other side too. Then go ahead and open it up. And I'm going to take the part that's right here and open it up right to even with where those creases were. And kind of pinch it a little if you want. And we're just going to let all this lay down flat and smooth out to a point. And it's going to have a little bit of white there. That's normal because of the way everything's folded, so don't worry about that, but you should get something that looks like this. And I can flip it over and just do the same steps again here on the other side as well. Get both of those folded over, open it up, take that layer and pull it open towards that point where the creases meet on each side, and then let it lay flat. And sometimes it helps to kind of get it started here a little if you need to. Get the point first and then let it lay flat. It's just sort of up to you guys how you want to do that. Then I'm going to go ahead and fold the other 2 by taking these 2 flaps and folding over till I can see the white area. Flip it over, do the same thing on this side too. And then we're just going to repeat these steps on these sides as well. So I'll just go ahead and fold over, Fold this one too. Open everything up. Get everything to kind of extend out. And then the last side as well. When you're finished, you should then have all of these folded over here, and you should be able to have the these little open parts here and the little tab that's sticking down at the bottom for both of those, and that should give you the completed part there. Now when you're finished, you want to just go ahead and repeat these steps so that you can have two completed. They should both be as similar as they can. You could choose to do two different colors if you wanted to. One part's going to be the back part and the other part's going to be the head, so it kind of depends. If you wanted to mix up your colors a little bit, you could do that as well. But once you get both of these made to this point, what we're going to do is just put one of them to the side so that we can focus on making this one for the first part, which is going to be the rear part of the body here. So what we want to do is we're going to take this little flap, and I'm actually going to tuck it inside. So what we could do is I could just kind of open things up, pull these parts out till it gets flat, and then I can just tuck this straight down, and then it becomes reversed inside. So let's do that again here. If we just take these top legs and keep this part kind of going up a little bit to start off with, just pull it apart. Pull it till the tension comes so that this part just folds in on itself. Reverse the crease and then return everything back to the center. Then we're just going to go to the other side and repeat these steps one more time. So again, I just kind of get this part going up a little bit, give a little pull, and let that reverse and tuck in. And then on the last one too. It looks a lot harder than it is. It's just really pulling it open and getting it to tuck in and then lay down nice and flat when you're finished. And you should then have all four of those areas now folded in and tucked inside so that we get nice clean edges here. And we want to make sure that we're looking at things so that we have these two kind of sections and that we have a total of 4 flaps on each side. And once you get all that, just make sure it's all nice and smoothed out and you've got good clean edges for everything. And then what we want to do is we're going to take this side here and fold this outer edge towards the center for each of all of these sides. Try to make as nice as a point as you can there. And I'll do both of these. Get both of those folded over. Turn it over, do the same thing on this side. Start it at the point and then lay it flat. And then I'm just going to take and fold my flaps over so that I can get to the other sides that I haven't folded yet. Turn everything over and do the same thing on these sides as well. Be a little hard because these points are pretty tiny, so you might need a little help. If a little kid is doing it, you want to give them a hand with this part because this can be a little frustrating because of how tiny it is. But we're going to get both of those folded over so we get all these nice little narrow sections which will serve as our legs. So that when we're finished, we have something that looks like this. And they should be still separated at the top there. Now what we want to do is we're going to take each of these sections and actually reverse fold them. So I'm going to open things up a little bit and pull down so that I can go ahead and create a reverse little piece here for the leg. And I want to kind of angle it up so that it's kind of straight out from the body. And then you can kind of keep that as pointed as you like. And then I'm just going to repeat these steps for all the sides. So you can kind of, play around with doing whichever one you want to, but I want to make each of these reversed and then try to keep it at an angle so that it's nice and kind of straight out from the body. I'll do the ones over here too. And you'll wind up doing that then 4 times to give you the 4 legs here. Then once you've finished that, what we're going to do is we're going to shape the legs by taking each of these and bending it in. And you can choose the angle you want to do this at, but you want to try, of course, to kind of mimic the same space on each side if you can, and the angle a little bit. And then we'll just repeat the same steps on the other side too. And it helps if you can get a good crease here, really pinch it, because then later when we reverse this, it'll go a little smoother. So I've got both of those folded down, all 4 of them. And then what I want to do is I'm just going to take each of these, open it up, and put a little pressure here so that it pops out and folds out the other way. And then you can keep everything nice and smooth there. And I'm just going to do the same thing on each of these so that I can get all 4 of these legs reversed and then get them to fold down. And this just makes it really nice and clean looking and doesn't really move so much later when you're all done. Just try to keep your points of your feet as clean as you can there. And then you should have all 4 of these then going down, and you can kind of look at it in a way so that you can kind of see it looking like this. And you can't really blow air into here so much necessarily. What we usually wind up doing is just kind of turning it over here and just giving a gentle tug on these edges opposite of themselves and trying to pull out this top part until we can get it to come down a little bit here. And I know this part can be a little nerve-wracking because you don't want to, obviously tear and break anything. But if you just keep gently pulling, you'll notice how things start to collapse there at the top. That's good. We just keep going and pulling out, getting each one of these sections to pull out evenly to create the shape of the, the butt of our spider, basically. And you can choose, how rounded you want it to be and things like that by just kind of adjusting stuff here with the angle that you pull all that out at. But in the end, you want to just try to create something so that you get a nice, even kind of distance to all of that in the back. And like I said, if you want to make it really, really rounded, you can pull it down even more. You could keep it more long, depending on the kind of spider maybe that you want it to be. But we want to try to keep it as round and fat as we can. There we go. And then once you've got that kind of the way that you like it, we can then just kind of put that to the side and we'll work then on the next part of our spider. So just kind of play around with it to make it the size and shape that you prefer it to be. And then when you're happy with that, you can just kind of set it to the side, and then we'll work on the next part here. So we have the other piece, and if you'll remember, this is exactly the same as we had folded the other one, and you should have the little ears kind of at the top and this point that you see down here. For this one, what we want to do is we're going to actually just take this bottom part and fold it up, flip it over, fold the bottom part up again, go to the sides where they are on the other 2 sides and fold those up as well. So we get all 4 of those little tiny triangular sections folded up. Then we want to go to a clean side here if we can. And from here, I'm just going to take and fold this part straight down. Turn it over, do the same thing. And then we're going to open it up to the other side again and fold those sides down as well. So we wind up getting this nice kind of kite shape when we're finished, with all parts folded down and these kind of little tiny cat ears at the top. And there should be 4 of those little sections actually at the top there. Once you've gotten all of that folded down the way that we need it to be, what we want to do is then fold over to a nice clean side and make sure that we've got even parts to each side when we're done. And we're going to take each of these sides and bring it up to become like a leg. So I can kind of open it up and push pressure on it and just kind of line the leg up even with this crease that you see right here. And I'm just going to do this for both on each side. Get all 4 of them going up like this. So 2 on each side here. So again, you're just opening up to this section, pulling that little flap up, getting it to do a mountain crease here in the middle, pinching it, and then just push down onto it, putting the pressure right there in the middle until you can get it to extend straight out. And you wind up doing this step 4 times, 2 on each side. And this is going to give us our front feet then for our spider. And we're going to just work on sort of making these a little thinner as the next step. So try to make sure that you've got things kind of about the same angle there and everything's nice and smoothed out. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take the side that you see here and we're going to fold it over. And it helps to just start and take this whole point and fold it over. And when you do, you'll notice this leg's going to pop up. That's okay. We want it to just pop straight up. I'm going to focus on first making this crease come here. And then once you've got that all smoothed out, we're going to take this part that's open, allow this to smoosh down, and we're going to make this leg thinner by kind of folding it in half. So we'll just roll this part over, make a nice point, and then just smooth everything out straight. And it's going to be a little off from points and stuff, but you want the main focus to be that you're making this part straightened out. And I'm just going to repeat those steps on both sides here. So we'll just fold it all over and then smooth it out. Flip it over, do the same thing on this side. And then this side. And it seems a little weird at first when you're just folding and the part kind of sticks up, but you just need to keep it nice and straight there when you're done to smooth it out. And then once you've done all of those sides, what we want to do is we're going to actually go ahead then and fold over and to the other sides and do the same steps here as well, so that we'll get this all completely thinned out so that we wind up getting these nice thinner sections then for the legs. Fold it over and then just fold this part in half. Turn it over and do the last 2 sides here. So you'll wind up having done this 8 times to get all the sides folded over and smooth out the legs so that we can get these nice thin spider legs here when we're all done. So we can get all of that nice and smoothed out here, and you should wind up then with something like this. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is angle these legs out, and when I do this I can go ahead and kind of choose the angle again that I want to do stuff with here, and we're going to then reverse everything after we've kind of folded them out. So it's sort of up to you of the angle and stuff like that. If you want to have a little bit, if you want it to be symmetrical, that's fine. You can also have some slight variations in the way that you do things. That's just sort of up to you and the point of preference to how you want to put everything together. But what I want to do is just take the legs, and this time we're folding up towards the head section here, and I'm just going to kind of keep it the same on both sides, but it doesn't really matter how you do it. Get these 2 folded up here, make a good crease on both of those, and And then I could do the back too. And once you've done all of that, then we're just going to reverse these by opening them up from underneath this time and popping them out. So it's a little reversed of how we did the hind legs, but the same process. It's just going from a different direction here, but we're just popping them around. And try your best to keep, you know, your tips nice and clean. That makes it look a little cooler. I'll just fold all these out here. Reverse that out on the crease that you already made. And if you need to adjust anything, you can a little bit before when you're all done there. And you should have the 4 little legs going there at the top, all kind of pointing up. Make sure they're nice and smoothed out there. So that you get something that looks like this. Then the next thing we want to do after you've gotten those all kind of reversed out is we're just going to go ahead and take everything, and we've got it all completed there. And I'm just going to take this little part that you see here and fold it down to kind of get it so that we can kind of see the part inside here for the, you kind of see those 2 little parts there. That kind of looks like a little cute little mouth, if you will, there. So what I want to do is just go ahead and get this to kind of get tucked down underneath when I'm done here with that. So what I can do next is just take the part that you see here in the middle, and we'll just go ahead and fold it so that we can get into everything here. So I can go ahead and fold that down. Kind of open things up here, tuck that inside. It's the same thing on this side too. And then once you're all finished with that, you can just take the back part of your spider and just slide this in. It should fit in there nicely, and then you have your completed little spider. And that is how you make a traditional origami spider. I'll have some more fun things to share with you guys in the days to come. Thanks again always so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!